Okay, listen. We promised that we'll talk a little bit about this. What the implications are of what happened in Kaswa about 3 years ago when these two teenagers were arrested for killing another child and for money rituals. They've been sentenced just yesterday, and it's brought it all back. It's made us all start thinking about it and how such a thing could have happened. I mean, we are trying to get some sort of insight into the minds of people and how they could find themselves comfortable committing such an act. So I want us to hear from someone. Ransford Nanado Jr. is a crime analyst and a certified professional investigator. So he's seen and heard a lot of things in this vein. So I think he's a great person to help us get a glimpse behind the curtain into the minds of people who commit such acts. Mr. Nanado Jr., thank you for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Kudo, and good morning to the team in the studio. I haven't been there in a while.
It's been a long time, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've been listening to our conversations. We're baffled as to how such a thing can happen, but you have insights. Talk to us. What are your thoughts on what could lead to such a heinous crime?
Okay, team, thank you very much. I think that it's a very unfortunate incident, and my heart goes to the family of the people who, the boy who lost the parents, the parents who have lost this young boy. It's a very sad incident. But, Kojo, as somebody who teaches criminal behavior and ethics in both tertiary and professional level, I am not surprised at all with what we are seeing. In May this year, a student, 18 years again, went to rob and was sentenced for 15 years in one of the schools in the Eastern Region. Just this September, another young boy stabbed one of his colleagues in school to death in O'Reilly Secondary School, senior high school. And it goes back to something that we should be worried about as a society. That what will trigger an 18-year-old boy and a 15-year-old boy to, if you like, try to kidnap one of their friends or kill him for money and sell him for money. My initial comment is that the kind of crimes that are predominant in the community is a reflection of the thinking and the mindset of the kind of generation in that particular community. And just take your remote and scan through the TV channels we have in this country and look at the number of malams and pastors who are promising people how to make money within 24 hours. I do not think that as a society we have taken these things serious enough. Unfortunately, it is only these small ones that have come to the fore you hear. But the elephant in the room is that we are all aware that communities are springing up in this country where we have a lot of young people who belong to various groups who have built mansions and have fleet of vehicles, and nobody is questioning where they got this money from. Our criminal justice system has failed us because in some jurisdictions, what they have dealt with, they have used to treat this. It's a very, very good law we call unexplained source of wealth. Mm-hmm. In our own case, we are still depending on the Criminal Offences Act of 1960, Act 29, where we have positioned ourselves that we need to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that the crime has been committed. But how will you explain, assuming this boy killed the deceased, hit him somewhere. Nobody got to know. The following year, he was driving a Range Rover at the age of 19 or 18. He built a new shop for his mother. He bought a house in a prime area. As a people, are we saying that all the crimes that will be committed, what we want to do is to see people caught in the act before we trigger our intelligence agencies? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all for anybody to sit down and say that our laws on unexplained words, we should keep it the way it is, and we have not triggered anything. In criminology, there are two main theories that can explain what has happened. We have what you call the social control theory. And the social control theory, Kujo, asks a very simple question. That people who are not attached to society, people who do not have a commitment to society, and those who have otherwise what I have said, which of them will commit crime easily? And so the issues of broken homes, the issues of people who do not feel belonging to our society, people who do not belong to any association, any church, people who do not go to any mosque, people who do not take societal unions and bonds seriously, easily commit crimes. And it is not accidental at all. If you look at the literature, most of the people who commit such a crime go to their background and go and check. They have never seen their father. They have never seen their mother. They do not even know where their parents are. So we should take some of these things seriously. One of the means of controlling society is to bring people together and let them have a sense of belonging. That theory that criminologists use in analyzing some of these things, Kujo, is what you call the rational choice theory. I have, for the past 3 years since this incident happened, I've been asking myself, I wish I'll get the opportunity to talk to this young boy and ask him 3 questions. Who socialized you and made you feel like you can kill an innocent boy like a chicken and go and get money out of it? 2, when you were doing it, didn't you ever fear that you would be caught? 3, did you know the consequences of what you did? The social control theory says that people who do not feel belong to a society will easily commit crime. But the rational control theory says that everybody who will do such a thing will weigh the pros and cons, will think about, oh, if I get caught, what is going to happen to me? What are the consequences? Did this boy ever think of that? It means that the level of impudence in our society, where young people think that they can do anything and get away with it, is worrying. And I think that we need to have a conversation around triggering the unexplained source of worth bit of our laws, so that we do not wait to catch people like this killing other people before we go look for them. But the key question is that if the state has the authority and the laws to confiscate and freeze accounts of people that we know 6 months ago were selling charcoal by the roadside, all of a sudden they have fleet of V8, they are building mansions, and we are saying that these are people who have made money. I made an initial statement that the society is seen through the type of crimes that are being committed. How have we not celebrated these people who flaunt words that we know are dirty? How has society not given them positions? Some of them have been made in heinous. Others have been given positions in church without anybody stopping for a while to say that, how did this young boy make this money? You'll be called jealous. You'll be called hypocrite. You'll be called enemy of progress if you stop and ask the questions that I have asked. And I think that we should not take these things on the surface. It's becoming too many. I've just given you 2 cases from May, plus this one. If you can go back to the internet, go and check. Young people are killing their colleagues For several reasons. They are robbing, they are killing them, they are kidnapping them, and it is getting very worrying. If you go to the classroom and you talk to the young ones, I even get more worried. Because these young people have gotten a certain mindset that our society accepts word without questioning where it is coming from. A young lady I was talking to 2 months ago after class told me that if I have a brother, I will not tell him to go to school. He should find a way of making money. Society will respect him. And if anybody takes the TV remote or radio remote and flip through the TV and radio channels, see the adverts that are being played over there. People who are promising money, riches, without any hard work. And we are looking on. We are watching it as a people. I'm not surprised at all about what has happened.
Wow. Let me ask about what the cure should be. Because you've diagnosed it, quite extensively. But how does a society that is turning in such a scary direction correct its course?
So, you go back to basic sociology and we're taught that socialization. The child comes on earth and is a blank sheet who is given to society. What society writes on is what that child becomes. Again, you do a quick check, meet a group of teenagers, give them pieces of paper and pens and tell you to write their role models. And you will see the kind of role models they will write for you. What it means is that our socialization has failed. And usually we think that it is that process where you are sat down by a mother to say that, don't do this, don't do that. Our media, social media, traditional media, the airwaves are socializing people unconsciously. And when you tell them don't do this, they see society celebrating those who have gone wayward and are rich. So we need to be intentional about what we are telling the young ones, what they see, what they hear, and what we are celebrating. That is one. The second thing is that we shouldn't wait till the ultimate has happened. I am sure that in those communities, just a couple of days ago, maybe weeks, a young man also put petrol around the house of his colleague because he had made some money through Sakawa, and the colleague did not give him a share. He burnt the gentleman and his girlfriend alive.
What?
Okay? The same Kaswa, just about 3 weeks ago. Now, what this tells us is that there is a problem. And when we see people having this trait of antisocial behavior, in their conversations we hear it. And somebody will be sitting somewhere to say that, if that is where they are sitting and they are having their conversation, that's different. But nobody, it should be our concern, because if they take the knife, if they take the gun and they need somebody to kill for ritual, they may meet your child or my child. The intelligence agencies, if you go into what we used to call the BNI, now the NIB, in every district they have officers. Who doesn't know that a place like Offenso is a hub for ritual money? Who doesn't know that if you go to, how do you call this place? Is it Swedru?
Yeah.
This guy is just around the Winneba area. There's the opposite side of Winneba.
Yeah.
It's a hub. Asinfosu has become a hub of so many young boys. And I have had the unfortunate situation of investigating and arresting some of these people. And the characteristics are similar. The issues of broken homes will have to be taken seriously. And we need to find jobs for young people who drop out of school and they feel like the only way they can make it is by engaging themselves in some of these abominable acts. We need to act fast. In our educational system, in our media, in our churches, in our mosques, we need to have this conversation.
Ransford, I'm so glad you joined us this morning. This is a lot to think about. some heavy stuff here, and I really appreciate your contribution. Ransford Nana Addo Jr. is a crime analyst and certified professional investigator. Thank you, Ransford.
Thank you very much, Kojo. Additions to the team in the studio.
Indeed. In fact, the team has a lot to say. You hear them after these.
Wafa, send us money.